Last Mother's Day, I don't know if you remember, but the reading that was appointed for that day was from Acts. And it was great because it described Judas hanging himself and then falling headlong and bursting open in the middle and his bowels gushing out. That was a great Mother's Day message. That was a fun one. That's definitely top 10 and one of my favorites. This year, we don't have that. This year, Mother's Day falls, as I said, on the same day as Good Shepherd Sunday. No bowel gushing, I'm sorry. You're going to have to go without. But there is a lot of focus, obviously, on Jesus as our Good Shepherd. How his sheep hear his voice, and they follow him. He knows them. Just fantastic stuff. So over the course of the week, I was looking at these readings and, trying to be cognizant of Mother's Day and trying to see how I can kind of find that hook to bring in Mother's Day and these texts. And I looked and, perfect right here. Could not get a better encapsulation of motherhood than these are the ones coming out of the Great Tribulation. Can I get an amen, moms? They're too tired to amen. But actually, being Good Shepherd Sunday, it actually does give us a really, truly perfect text. Not just for moms. For moms, sure, but this is for everybody. It's not in our bulletin. We don't print out the appointed psalms for the day, but the appointed psalm for Good Shepherd Sunday is Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd. And it's too bad that this psalm is so strongly associated with funerals and death, because it's not a psalm of death at all, not even close. It is a psalm of life. It is a psalm for every single day. It is a psalm of rest, restoration, and refuge. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures, and he leads me beside still waters. So we begin with, you shall not want. Okay. Are you all feeling that right now? You got everything you need? If you had a personal fuel gauge, and it just measures everything, your time, your energy, your well-being, your sanity, all those things that you need to live, to get through the day, where's that needle? What's that needle pointing to? Is it closer to full? 3/4? Half? Getting towards empty? Just hoping and praying you got a little bit left in the tank to get you to the end of the day? Yeah, I assume a lot of you are probably there. I'm there. I get that. And really, that's what makes the beginning of this psalm really frustrating. To hear that you shall not want. Because what God is saying here is, look, you have everything you need. You lack nothing. You have precisely what you need when you need it. And as wonderful as that sounds, it is maddening to hear it sometimes. Especially when you just don't feel it. Okay? Because what it feels like is that you're just hanging on by the skin of your teeth. It feels like that needle's been on E for a long time now. That you're just coasting on fumes at this point. And here he says, you shall not want. It's like, okay, I want. I'm not sure. But it just feels like there's a lot I don't have. But that's precisely when the shepherd does his shepherding. And how he does this is the rest of that verse there. He makes me lie down in green pastures. Love the imagery there. Not the green pastures. That he makes me lie down. He's had enough of me. He says, lie down right now. We are Jesus' obstinate, stubborn, uncooperative, cranky sheep. Amen. We are tired. We are worn out. We got nothing left in the tank. So he makes us lie down in green pastures. Basically what he's doing right now. with everything that we have still unchecked on our to-do list, with the mountain of unmet expectations that you have that are just crushing you, with not enough time, with not enough resources, with just not being enough. He has brought you right here, right now, in this place to say, lie down. He brings you to the place where he gives you rest, where he feeds you, where he shows you the truth of these words. You shall not want. Because in his provision, you truly have everything you need. You have his grace for not having enough. His grace for not being enough. You have his forgiveness for the ways you haven't been able to cope. When you've lost heart. When you've just been broken down and you weren't strong enough to move forward and couldn't figure it out. His mercy is enough. His love is enough. He is enough for you. He's brought you back to the still waters of your baptism in this place. And he says, I've got you. I've always had you. Ever since I placed my name upon you in your baptism, I've got you. In him you find the rest that you need. And having brought you into that rest, he then restores your soul and leads you in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. He restores you. He restores your soul. Life takes a toll. Being a mom, being a dad, being a son, a daughter, a sister, a brother, being a human being takes a toll. It's a lot. You get bruised, you get bent out of shape, become weary, wrong turns are taken, mistakes are made, you stumble, you fall, you feel like you're not who you're supposed to be, not who you want to be, you feel used up, you've just given and given and given until you're saying, what's left? The Good Shepherd restores you, brings you back to where you're supposed to be. Back to who you're supposed to be in him. A beloved child of God. Leading you, guiding you, so that you walk in the footsteps of forgiveness all the way. He does this for his name's sake. Meaning this is just who he is. He is your restorer. It is his good and perfect will and desire to make you whole. And now, from that rest and restoration, you find refuge. It says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Your shepherd is with you. When you're walking through that valley, that deep, dark, frightening place, when you get that phone call that you never wanted to get, when the doctor says those words that steal your breath, when that grief becomes a constant, unwelcome companion, you find your refuge in him. Jesus takes the fear away. He says, no evil can overcome you, because it has not, does not, and will not ever overcome him. And he is with you. While you walk through that, whether the shadows go away or not, while you're in that valley, he's still with you, walking alongside of you. Your good shepherd's presence is the light in your darkness. His rod defends you, fends off the wolves, His staff gently leads you along the way because he is a good shepherd. He never leaves his sheep vulnerable. And while you're there, right in the middle of it all, surrounded by anxieties, fears, struggles, all the familiar enemies, he throws a feast for you. Exactly what he does today. You know, he leads you up here and he says, sit down. You're tired. Let me serve you. Let me anoint your head with oil, a sign of his blessing, his healing, his comfort that is placed upon you. He pours his great grace out upon you in abundance, so much so that your cup is overflowing, blessing you right where you are, wherever you happen to be, in that valley. He is your refuge. And here's probably the very best part. Goodness and mercy will follow me. It's not a bad translation, but it's just not strong enough. His goodness and mercy aren't just tagging along behind you. It's probably better to read this and understand this saying, goodness and mercy will pursue you, chases after you. You could even say his goodness and mercy hunts you down and finds you. God's goodness, his mercy, his compassion, his steadfast and unchanging love for you actively, relentlessly pursues you, making sure you're never outside the reach of his love, never without that place of refuge in him. No matter how far you think you've strayed, how lost you're feeling, how little you have left, he says, turn around and see my goodness and mercy pursuing you, right there, ready to overtake you, to wrap you up in the arms of comfort and peace. This is not a shepherd who waits for you to find your way back. He comes after you. He makes sure that his refuge isn't a place that you're just blindly groping around for, hoping that maybe you'll find it someday. It's a reality that he actively brings to you. He provides rest when you're empty, restoration when you're broken, and refuge when your world is falling apart. He is your shepherd. Not was, not might be, but is. Right now. All of this in the psalm is yours now. This isn't a psalm for special occasions. It's not a psalm for Mother's Day. It's a psalm for every day. It's not just something nice that we recite, it is something that we live in. This psalm is his promise to you that not only will you dwell in the house of the Lord forever, but you are now. This is God's peace for you all. Amen.